Hey guys, and welcome back to a December update. I hope you all had a good Christmas. It's pretty damn cold here today. It's been freezing for the last week or so, as you can see by the table there. We've still got the Christmas decorations up. We'll probably be taking those down in the next week. We've still got some friends coming over for cheese and wine and all that kind of stuff. You can do a Christmas tree up there in the big sash window. So I still want to stay a little bit festive for the meantime, and then we'll take those all down, as well as starting to think about getting the garden ready for spring going forwards. I don't know if I'm yelling right now. I'm a bit ill, as you can probably hear. My ears keep popping. The joys of having young babies is that you constantly seem to get ill. So the hot tub's been getting a fair bit of use so far in this weather, because it's so nice coming out when it's freezing cold and your hair starts freezing, and that's running at 40 degrees the whole time. That's always on. We've got our Christmas lights around our bay tree too. I need to fix some broken panels on here on this greenhouse before my blueberry plants and everything else dies in there. As you can probably see, it's just covered with duct tape, this thing. What I'd really like to do is I'd like to put a proper concrete base down and put a small dwarf brick wall and put a really big, proper, extended greenhouse. So probably deeper than this one. And then probably change this gate over to the other side so it doesn't accidentally hit into it, because that's how I've lost quite a few panels. And then bring it all the way over to here, and quite possibly even knock the fence back a bit. Just to get something bigger, because that'd really extend our growing period. We'll be able to start growing stuff a lot earlier and also continue a lot later, as well as helping with all the seedlings and stuff like that. So I think hands down that could probably be the best investment for the small holding, is getting a properly big greenhouse. Doesn't that look nice? Anyway, in terms of here, I haven't split the rhubarb. You can see it over here a bit more. I need to weed this and get all these leaves and walnuts from the walnut tree out, because we put a load more new ones in last year. So I'm just going to see how it is for now. The raspberries, again, I've left these. Apparently you can fill them in January, or so soon, or March. You just twist these and the top part comes off. I guess they're not ready just yet. Oh, maybe like that. And then it only has to grow a foot before it starts producing fruit. We'll see how that goes. It's bramble there I need to take out, unless that's our blackberry one. Trees, they've all been pruned. Nothing further to do here. Strawberries growing absolutely rampant, as you can see. And I could probably do with pruning that fig tree a bit at the bottom, because it starts getting really big and bushy there. This has all been weeded. Green gage was pruned a few months back, and still got some apples on the tree over here. And then the church over there has all been done up and decorated for Christmas, and it's got some trees outside, which is nice. Yeah, garden-wise, there's not really too much interesting to report on. Nothing's really happened. Nothing's grown. We've done all the weeding, done all the pruning. Here's some of the apples. I didn't pick them all up, because every time I picked them up, more dropped off afterwards. But they're barely holding on now. And, well, that's holding on pretty well. And the jackdaws are enjoying those. This Christmas tree is getting nice and tall. I think maybe next year we'll start putting some lights on it for Christmas. What a nice day that is. And our hornbeam's got really tall. I'm looking forward to seeing how much this grows next year. The Asian pear tree, we've cut off a few small branches. Might have to do this one though, because when I'm going around on the lawnmower, I do tend to hit them. Cherry tree, this year I'm definitely going to remember to put my netting on just after the blossom goes, because I had loads of nice cherries from this one. You can see the buds actually on here. See it on there? Yeah, I had loads of nice cherries on this one. But the birds came along and ate them all before I could sample them. So I know it produces fruit, and it produces a lot of fruit, but I just need to net them up before they get stolen again from me. In the compost area, which I'll bring you around to in a bit, this is all empty now. There's a little mouse families I found living in the wooden compost over there. And I was getting some compost out for the hot bins the other day. I could see tiny little babies running around, and a mum was trying to like scare me off. I was wondering what she was doing. She was running around in circles at the top, and then I saw all these tiny little ones, literally about an inch or so long, all in there. So I just left them aside, left them alone. And then this bed's all been cut back down. These laurel bushes here, I thought they're dwarf ones, but apparently they're not. So at some point they're probably going to get absolutely rampant and just grow really tall. So I need to decide what I'm going to do. Where are you going? Where are you going? Yeah, I need to decide what I'm going to do with these, whether or not that's take them out entirely, in which case I should probably do that sooner before they get too big. Replace them with a hornbeam bush, maybe going around. But at the moment I quite like having them to block the view from the road until the hornbeam over there is done. But yeah, maybe it'll be good. I was thinking of doing over here big white Super Annabelle hydrangeas. But obviously it's not going to cover much in winter here. Anyway, Rudolph's going berserk. Aren't you? Crazy dog. Crazy dog. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. And then all these fruit trees in the back driveway, that's all been pruned. I'll go back around here. These two sheds, I might have spoken about them before, but they're really approaching end of life. This one's mainly just paints in, I think, and that one's fence posts and fencing and a few lawnmower things that are just big objects. But what I'm thinking of doing is, on the right of this one I've got shelves going up, which are a good way of taking up space, and on the left I've got shelves, and in the middle of this one I've got a lot of old tiles, leftover tiles, and we're going to retile part of the inside house floor later on next year, so that'll clear up a lot of space. So I'm thinking of just ripping these out because they're really old. You can see the roof's all coming up, and because it's all dipped and dropped and the doors are wonky, there's no point in redoing the roof. It just wouldn't make sense. Rudolph, you wait here. Wait here. Wait there. Be good. Wait there. That's a fire pit I got bought for Christmas from the in-laws, which I'm looking forward to using. And yeah, this is going to be where the bakery Airbnb outbuilding garden's going to be. So the door, I'm waiting to get a new door on that one. And I was thinking of putting some kind of privacy sheet across the 5-bar gate there, and then relocating that somewhere else, taking down this, and that'll be a quite nice little eating area. And it gets the sun too, which is nice. I'll go down here and show you this bit quickly. Skip, I'm waiting for them to take away, but it's full. I've had a bit, not a run-in with the building company, but just as issues that need sorting out at the moment, which is being a real headache. That was meant to have got done in the bakery. It was meant to be completed back in September. Then I got told it will 100% be done by October. Surprise, surprise, still wasn't done by October. Got told it would be 100% done by 9th of December, and surprise, surprise, not done. Then got told it would definitely be done before Christmas, and guess what? Wasn't done before Christmas, still not done. So I put a complaint in, and hopefully gonna get my own trades guys to finish that job off, because I know it would have been done months ago, and to a higher standard. Very annoyed by that, as you can tell. The garage building, which is going here, the planning application's been submitted. and that should be going live in the next week or so, which I'm looking forward to getting a result on. I feel very confident that it's all going to work out well. All these beds frosted over. We've got our dahlias under some straw and some mulch and cardboard to keep them warm, hopefully. If they don't survive, they don't survive. I'll buy some new ones. Slowly but surely, putting all our own compost in to top these beds up. Looks like a bird or something's been in there. And I probably think, early March, I'll buy some more compost and get it delivered just to quickly top up what's left, just so I can get everything planted in time. That'll make it look a lot neater. Most of these beds are pretty decent heights, and with those composts I'm getting about 600 litres of compost every 3 or 4 weeks, so it's getting there. And then I'm going to get another cage like this one. I think it's from Agrifabs, this one. Sure, it's all Agriframes, something like that. I'm going to get another one, but for this side with the strawberries. I didn't realise, but a friend and a farmer told me that we shouldn't use the same beds for potatoes twice in case there's blight or some kind of disease that you haven't realised. So this was one of our potato beds from last year, and the other one was over here. This one definitely had blight, so we'll probably knock them into the front ones and then just switch out everything else. But this is going to say the strawberry bed. The whole thing's going to be strawberries, and this one I'm not sure yet. It's still in the planning stage. And then we've got our wreaths on here for the chickens. Because there's not much daylight at the moment, they're not laying as much, and also they're making the coop, the Nesteria coop up there, much messier because they're spending more time in it. So it's taking longer to clear out than normal and more regularly, but that's not the end of the world. And I've got some compost in here that needs emptying out pretty soon. And then wood, I'm still burning through all my wood over by the bakery at the moment, but once that's done, this doesn't need chopping up anymore. It's pretty much okay, so I'll chuck that back in there and let it season for the year. And then going back around this way, the water yet hasn't frozen over properly. It's freezing a bit, but it's thawing out quickly. When it goes below -3 or 5, that's when it seems to stay frozen. Oh, and I put some copper pipes in the water bits. Basically, because they're sort of translucent and they're white, when the sun hits it, it can make a lot of bad algae in there. And it doesn't put them off, they still drink it. But if you put copper pipes in, it kills all the algae. I've noticed it's gone down a lot since, but I think until I can stick a pressure washer in there and clear out all the old sediment, I can't really tell if it's 100% complete or not. This is all cleared out a bit here. This, I'm thinking of changing here because it's single skin at the moment, it's oil tank. I think it's a 1200 litre, I'm not sure, I think it's 1200. But I'm thinking of changing it sideways, putting a double skin one in and putting a 2,500 or a 3,000 one in. Jess is back. And then connecting that up to the garage building and also having it serviced, because at the moment this one's only for this one. But I just think 1,200 litres is kind of small. Yeah, I think I'll probably put a 3,000 in there. And then I still haven't got around to putting the pipes in yet. It's on my list of things to do, but obviously you can see water in there. See? There is like a film of like oil, not oil, I don't know what it's like, it's a film like grime on top of it, and if I drop some water in it or spit on it, it dissolves. But I'm looking forward to pumping that out, and hopefully it's not, what's the word? Hopefully it's not a contaminated water supply, and that's why they covered it up. I'm hoping it's still just fresh. One thing I was thinking was, I don't know whether or not, because apparently it's quite common with some water wells that they are from fresh water. So all the rain pipes, so like the hops up here, that goes into an underwater like water butt, basically like a water storage reservoir, and then you could use the pump to pump out rainwater. I'm hoping it's not that, and I think because the water level's going up and down, and because I've looked at old Ordnance Survey maps from the 1800s, I think it is actually a pump, and it is actually a well. Rudolph's very excited because Jess is back. So yeah, and here is the all the wood that I've got over from other previous years. I'm trying to make a dent on this bit because this is the oil pipe supply that goes into the house from the boiler, but the emergency cutoff for it is behind all those logs, which is a fire hazard. So I'm going to need to slowly get rid of all these logs and stack them from now on the left until I can get the heating engineer to come back and relocate it to about here or something, and hopefully that's done. Well, that's what I got to show you. I'll finish up in the bakery actually. Cobra hasn't been out in ages because it's so cold. Fig tree, I've drilled some holes in and I'm waiting for that just to let nature do its thing with that. Hung up some Christmas lights on the front veranda, and I've been in touch with some people to start getting quotes about renovating this. I don't know how much it will cost, but ideally I'd like to get all this ironwork completely stripped back. I know I'm probably going to lose the roses. Well, I think that's not the end of the world, they grow pretty quick, but you can see up here it's rusted. It's been painted over quite a lot over the years and never stripped back. I don't think it's ever been stripped back. And there's been some kind of repair work here. It looks like they've got red oxide or something. But what I'd like to do is get it all completely stripped back and then redone, repainted. And then the top bit where it's got shed felt up there, I think lead's probably the right and the historically accurate thing to do in terms of renovation. But I think copper could look so cool, especially once it goes green. I think it's patina, I think it's called. That'd be so cool. And same with having the gully up there at the very top, having that gully coming down the valley and having that copper too. But I think realistically it's probably going to be lead. At the moment, I don't know if you can see, there's 3 patches. Do you see them, like wet patches up there on the valley? That's old repair work that the previous owners did. Obviously, I can see now they've had damp issues there where water's come through. We've had roofers go up there and look at it, and it's because the lead that they used before was much too thin and not suitable. So when it got cold or just with age, it cracked and it's let water in. So instead of taking off the tiles, getting scaffolding up there, replacing the lead with high quality lead, they put some sort of sticky waterproof paint or something on there. And it's just a complete cheap bodge basically. So surprise, surprise, it might last for, I don't know, a few years, but eventually it goes wrong and then you're back to square one. I've had, I think, 2 different roofers now come out and quote for it. But when it comes around to getting a quote, they get up there with all the ladders, spend a few hours here, and when I chase them for quotes, they just disappear and ghost me. It seems to be a common theme at the moment with a lot of tradesmen. I guess they've got too much work on, or they don't like the idea of it. But that's on my list to do for probably spring or summer. Definitely get that fixed, that replaced. And I saw another company, it was in Yorkshire, but I think it's called MB Roofing or something, and he does really nice lead flashing all around the chimney stacks and around the valleys. So I might see if he can do the valley or quote for it there. And they've got really nice intricate designs and it just looks like pure craftsmanship. I'll put some pictures now in that of some of the stuff he's done, or she, I think it's a he, I'm guessing it's a he. But I think that'll look a lot nicer getting that all done. And I'll show you the front gates before our wreaths come down. It's always nice pulling out to this and seeing this lovely view of all the fields. Just complete, until you get the drone up, you kind of can't really see just how surrounded by fields you are. Just great views. As this gates as pull up, we put double wreaths on them. And obviously in spring, we're going to put these super Annabelles either side just to give it a nice big white colour as you pull up. The cherry tree had blossomed on really early this year. I think it was late November or December. I think the nature's getting a bit confused with the weather. And then over here, probably realistically gonna start getting quotes to, I think, re-render this bit in, I'll get quotes next year, but probably look at starting 2027. But on one hand, it's really nice to keep these two stone stacks. So you've got one stack here, and then you've got another stack here, the old original stone. It's nice to see the building, and it's better for the house to have it in brick and exposed, and render's not good, even lime render's not good for houses. But it's just a lot more expensive. And there's so many bricks that are blown that would need replacing. So yeah, I don't know, I think maybe just go with lime render. I think I've spoken about that in another video. And then here, I found out something about the bees. So I don't know if you remember, I spoke before about getting bees here, and I was looking at the flow hives, or I think they're called flow hives, from New Zealand. And they had like a tap where you can turn it to get all your honey out. But I spoke to a couple of people around here who had bees. I said, how come they're not more popular? I see a lot of celebrities and influencers having... Oh, it's distracting me. Basically, this is the compost area. It needs tidying up more. I need to chop up the wood, and I need to level it out a bit more. And bees are going here. I guess because Jess has come back, she hasn't let the dog in the house, and now he's just whining and going crazy because he wants to go see the chickens. But yeah, a lot of people use those flow hives, like influencers and celebrities. But then any people who actually had bees as a hobby or professionally, I didn't see any of them with flow hives. And then I started seeing a lot of celebrities and influencers who had the flow hives get rid of them and go to Langstroth ones or something else afterwards, but they wouldn't ever say why they did that. Anyway, I started speaking to some people locally who had bees, and they said that, I mean, don't quote me on this or sue me if you're flow hive, I might be completely wrong. And you can always send me some free beehives to prove otherwise. But they were saying that the honey in New Zealand and Australia is thicker or runnier, and over here it doesn't work as well. Maybe the honey over here is thicker, so it didn't come out as well. So it often got stuck. And they're also saying that there was some problems with the health and safety of the bees or something. Sometimes they got squished or something, I don't know, something like that. But there's meant to be ones called a bellow, holly hives, something like that, which are meant to be really good. So I'm gonna look into those and probably get them for spring this year. I didn't do it last year, I had so much on, it was unbelievable. In here, the weed kill, we use glyphosate, is all kicked in, all the grass has died back. And when it's not freezing, I'm going to pressure wash this and it comes up pretty nice. And get that all cleaned off. I'll show you what's happened in here since we were last here. Take my shoes off. Rudolph ran in here the other day, that's why it's a little bit muddy on the floor, so I need to clean it. We've got a nice sort of lip now here where the tile is put in. We've got a bed in now, which I need to change the mattress for it. I put some curtains up just so when my parents stayed for Christmas, they had a bit of privacy and warmth. That's why they're kind of ugly and not matching. Underfloor heating in this section is great, really nice and warm. And then this is the kitchen, but this is all getting stripped out. So it's going to have a new quartz worktop, new splashbacks, new green cabinets underneath. This is going to be just cabinet underneath the sink there, and then a fridge in the middle, and then drawers to the right. That I think we get from DIY Kitchens. I'll show you like a mock-up of what I think it's going to look like. And I'll show you some pictures of the worktops and the cabinets. But that'll be nice once that's done. And then there's pipe work around here. It goes behind the bed too. That's getting boxed in by my tiler. So my tiler did all the floor and put that down. And he's going to do the kitchen. The door there's getting replaced because the insurance company completely buggered it and it's put on badly and wonky and all that. I'm not going to go into details on that. And in here, this is annoying too, isn't it? So we got a oak cabinet. So this is where the sink obviously goes onto, but the insurance company didn't check that you can get into it. So that obviously just going to hit that, and then there's a shatter risk. Before, as a fold-in bifold one, I mean, it looks nice. The shower does look good. And then also you need to put a door architrave on, didn't finish that. They've only done half the floorboarding up there. Haven't replaced the insulation, haven't done the attic loft hatch, as you can see here. And the toilet's not plumbed in. And I had issues where they put the stud wall in front of all the water pipes so they can't be maintained, and it also blocked the water stopcock. Yeah, there's a bunch of other things. It basically, that's ongoing and there's issues, and I'm trying to, well, I gave the builders, like I terminated the contract for it and said I didn't want them here anymore because I didn't trust them or have faith in it. And I'm trying to talk to the insurance company at the moment to reach a settlement so I can get my own trades guys in to finish off the job and I can finally get it back up and running, because it's, I don't know if anyone else has been through an insurance claim before. It's taken, sorry, putting my wellies back on. It's taken a year now since the claim went in. I think 5 months of it was waiting for them to come do the strip out. So they just left it with, they told me not to touch anything. So I left it with soaking wet carpets in there, which made all the walls damp and everything else, made the problems way worse. And then, yeah, I think basically 8 months in, the only thing that's happened is put a brand new Worcestershire boiler on it, which was through my heating engineer, which was perfect, great job. I've got it tiled, so it looks great. Again, that was a contractor of mine. And then they had decorators come in, and he did do a really good job. He was here for a week. But everything else has gone wrong, or been problems with it, or been delayed. There must have been about 20 times where they said they're going to turn up, and then they never did turn up. Just really crappy experience, to be honest. Just disappointing. And then, I think you remember probably in the last month's video, or the month before that, I said I was working on a lot of projects. They've pretty much nearly all come to an end now. The final wish one, I'm hoping that I get done. I'm hoping in the next two months that I can get this bakery finished. For the Airbnb and that one. The planning's been submitted for the garage, which should be going live in the next probably week. So by January or February's garden update, I should have an idea of that. And then it's a case of getting the technical drawings done from structural engineer, and then building quotes in, and then the dig out and construction of it, which would be fantastic. And then, yeah, I think that's basically all the other big projects wrapped up. There's a few things that's happening behind the scenes, but they're all been wrapped up now and all finished. So that's done. And now I can go back to focusing on just a few things at once. And I think that's definitely something I'm going to carry into 2026. 2025, I bit off way more than I can chew. Not that it didn't get done, because it did. but it just takes up a lot of mental bandwidth, and when you're too spread too finely across a lot of things, it's hard to feel like you're making progress on stuff. And I find personally I respond much better when I can see progress happening fast in one direction. It makes me a lot more motivated when I can see progress on something, whereas everything was just going all up at the same time. But yeah, like I said, now it's all done. The lights at the end of the tunnel, it's all getting wrapped up, and hopefully I can make 2026 an absolute blinder and start enjoying the fruits of my labour a bit more. In terms of 2026 going forwards, I want to obviously post more on here, more on YouTube. I was thinking of doing more travelling stuff too. I want to see more of the UK, like with Jess and Violet. We want to go to the Scilly Isles down of Cornwall. I want to do more hiking, got maybe Ben Nevis, and do more hikes in the Peak Districts like Mamtor, and see more of the North Norfolk coastline, because that was a really great trip last year we did. More of the Suffolk coastline, maybe Northumbria, go up to the lakes more, do more of the Cotswolds, and also get back into focusing on my health. Like, I put that on the back burner for quite a bit, just got being so inundated with other work projects. But I think that's the main engine that helps give you steam for all the rest of it. So that's probably going to be a big goal. And then, yeah, just be more present, spend more time with family, more time with friends, and enjoying myself a bit more, working less. Definitely the aim, the goal. Anyway, I look forward to giving you the update on the next one. I'll be dropping this video probably the same day as November's update. We were so busy over November and we're both pretty ill. All three of us are pretty ill actually. I'm just really busy with the Christmas stuff. So I'll put in a bunch of other little random clips at the end of this, like I had with the last videos, just what we did in December. And then hopefully January or February, we can start getting back into gardening and focusing more on the construction and things, because now all the boring paperwork's all done. Everything's been ticked off, or getting very close to that. And we can start on the fun bit, which is the building of it all. Anyway, hope you enjoyed. If there's anything you want to see more of, let me know. Rudolph, come. Come. Good boy. Good boy. Sit. Good boy. Off you go. Rudolph, come. Come. Rudolph, come. Good boy. Good boy. Yay! What a good boy. You have a biscuit. Go this way. This way, Rudolph. Come. This way.